Oh, to be young and in 2012 again, back when One Direction was still a band, and Wattpad taught me everything I knew about love. Hey guys, it's Zoe here. The fanfiction I'm going to be reading today is called Your First Day. So, let's just jump into it. Your First Day, Harry Styles Fanfic. By me. Characters, Harry Styles and you. Played by me. And here's the summary. A short fanfiction about your first day as a new kid to high school with Harry Styles. Am I ever going to see you again? You ask, breathless. You're unable to grab a correct thought as you look into his eyes. He starts to laugh, catching you off guard. We go to the same school together? Chapter 1. Hello. This is a short fanfiction that I originally wrote on my Instagram, fanfiction.love13. If you want to read more Harry Styles fanfiction, check that Instagram out. Now happy reading. Semicolon P. Squiggle squiggle. You walk into the classroom feeling uneasy. Your hands tremble, and you forget how to breathe, overwhelmed by this new huge school. Students, meet Y/N. She just joined our school, so give her a warm welcome. You hated how each teacher announced you like that. You didn't want to be known as the weird new kid. You didn't need an introduction. Go ahead, sit where you like, dear. Your new English teacher instructs. You scan the aisles of seats to find only one empty one. It is in the back corner beside a curly-haired boy. You quickly rush over and take a seat, not wanting to spend any more time in the spotlight. Your new teacher continues on with the attendance while you try to get comfortable. You feel eyes on you as you try to focus on the English lesson. It starts to get on your nerves as you feel a stranger's eyes boring into your skull. Finally, sick of the staring, you spin around to face the starer. It's the curly-haired boy. He blushes, noticing you, and turns to look at the ground. Why? As you start to speak, he smiles and looks up. You're stunned at how green his eyes are. Why do you keep looking at me? Suddenly, all your confidence has been taken away. I can't help it, he smiles. You're just so beautiful. It's your turn to blush. No one's ever called my beautiful. The bell rings, fortunately ending the school day. Such a shame, he mumbles. Simultaneously, you both get up and head to the door. You walk to your locker, but not alone. Like a lost puppy, Harry follows you. He stares at you for a moment, but this time you don't question him. Could I give you a ride home? Harry blurts randomly. He sends you a kind smile, trying to show you he means well. Sure, you say, without a second thought. You are melting under his gaze. His untamed hair and green eyes have you under a trance. Harry leads you out the door and to what you presume to be his car. Surprisingly though, he leads you to a motorcycle. Your heart beats faster. You've never rode a motorcycle before, but the fact Harry owns one makes him so much hotter. Are you scared? He asks. You quickly shake your head no, but dare not speak because you know you would sound scared. He hops on and you swallow down the fear. Quickly, you jump on as well, not wanting him to notice anything was different. Unsure where to put your hands, you grasp onto your seat. Squiggle. Odd ending, ... My bad, ... Remember, I originally wrote this on my Instagram, so I'm not sure where the good ending parts are. Anyways, hope you are enjoying it. I'll try to update it ASAP. Chapter 2. Right or left? Squiggle. Just a reminder, Y/N means your name, half, parentheses. Happy reading, squiggle. Chapter 2. Harry lets out a low chuckle. You might want to hold on to me, he says. The motorcycle roars to life, and a quick jolt forward causes you to clutch onto Harry's toned chest for safety. Your face flushes red as you think that you are touching an extremely hot guy. Harry being spinning up and the butterflies swarm in your stomach. You can't think straight as traffic flies by. Where do you live? Harry asks. You had forgotten he is on his way to your house. You sigh, realizing your time with him will be short. I live... You trail off, wanting to lie so you can stay with him longer, but you decide against it. I live on Maple Street. You sigh as you near the turn. You focus on Harry's heavy breathing, and your heartbeat speeds up. The wind causes his cologne to meet your nose. He smells of cinnamon and fresh oranges. His smell drives me crazy. Right or left? He asks, interrupting your thoughts. You blink for a second as you see the stop sign fast approaching. You don't want your time to end, but he isn't slowing down. Left! You shout over the roaring engine. He takes a sharp turn, spinning through the stop sign and shocking you into holding him tighter. What does your house look like? He shouts, trying to make conversation, but you can hardly hear him. It's gray with red shutters. You point it out down the road. It's after the stop sign. He skids to a stop in front of your house. You stay seated for a second, unsure of what to do. Realizing it is time for you to leave, you hop off. Thank you for the ride, you say after clearing your throat. He stands up and kicks the stand down to keep the motorcycle from falling down. It was my pleasure. He follows you to your door. Your face begins to heat up and you curse yourself for blushing. Ah, snucks. You walk up the steps in silence, and one to your door you spin around to face Harry. Am I ever going to see you again? You ask, breathless. You're unable to grab a correct thought as you look into his green eyes. He starts to laugh, catching you off guard. We go to the same school together. You're suddenly embarrassed. What a stupid question. Yeah, I meant out of school? Your face is bright red as you try to play it off as if you know what you're doing. I'd love to hang out with you more. Here, let me see your phone. He grins, holding out his hand. Awkwardly, I reach in the back of my pocket and struggle to get my phone out. Once I do, I hand it to him. He types furiously into my phone, and I immediately know he is putting in his number. He hands it back and gives you a kiss on your cheek, causing you to blush a deeper red. See you later, Y/N. He gives you a wink before walking back to his motorcycle. Bye, Harry, you shout while giving him a small wave. You smile to yourself as you watch Harry jump onto his motorcycle and speeds away. He is a mystery, that boy. Squiggle. Don't ask why I put that last line. Don't ask. Well, Happy New Year's, my lovely readers. Thank goodness 2015 is finally here. 2014 was getting PRETTY boring. Hashtag just saying. Chapter 3. First. Just a heads up, I'm skipping through the future quickly and fast. Sorry. This was originally wrote on my Harry Styles FanFiction Instagram page at fanfiction.love13. And I quickly got tired of writing this cliche love story, so I ended it. Once again, my apologies. Whoopsie. Chapter 3. A few weeks go by, full of flirting, texting, giggling, and might I add, kissing. Your first kiss was random and out of nowhere. You were putting away your items into your locker as you got ready to leave school. You wondered silently to yourself where Harry was going to meet you today. On some days, he would meet you at the stairs, others at the door right before you left. Suddenly, a hand was gripping your hip, and before you know it, you had spun around to be met with green eyes. Before you could process what was happening, he leaned in, and his ragged breathing met your lips. Your heartbeat raced, and you felt his lips press against yours. Without thinking, your eyelids closed, your hands trailed up and down his chest. You could feel his abs and his hand tangled into your hair. He deepened the kiss, but just as quick as it began, he pulled back, grinning at himself. Harry, you braved out, confusion clear in your voice. You said you wanted your first kiss spontaneous and out of nowhere, he answered. You chuckle in response and nodded before pulling him back for another kiss. Dates flashed through, eating at a fancy restaurants, touring the nearby city, and slowly you fell into a deep love. You held hands as you walked down the school hallway, and to you it felt as everyone's eyes were on you two. However, in fact, nobody was paying attention. They were too consumed in their own worlds to pay attention to how in love you and Harry were. The first time Harry called you sexy was at his house. His parents weren't home, which caused your heartbeat to increase just thinking about you and Harry being alone. I was getting a little too saucy. You guys were meant to have a study date, but it was more of a date full of kisses than a studying session. Ooh. You were okay with that though. There was consent. He was attacking your lips, and suddenly he pulled back. His green eyes were full of lust, and something else was hidden behind them. You're so sexy, babe. He mumbled against your lips before attacking them once more. Rawr. You were so caught up on the word sexy and the heat brought on by his touch, you hadn't noticed him leaning deeper into you, and that was your first time. Squiggle. So I would have gone into detail, but that's really awkward to write, so how about no, okay? Anyways, once again, sorry for skipping ahead so fast. When I first wrote this, I go bored really fast with this fanfiction, so I ended it. Big O dot little O. My bad. Have a wonderful day, my lovely readers. Chapter 4. Fancy Date. Okay, so I'm wrapping things up. Sadly to say, this is the last chapter before the epilogue. ... Happy reading, everyone. ... Parentheses. Chapter 4. You couldn't help to feel things were moving fast. You were only 17. But hadn't every teenager by this age done almost everything you can? So you lost yourself with him. Every day was a new day full of lust, love, and romance. You never fell out of love. Instead, you guys stayed happily and content. Your friends had already had multiple boyfriends, losing love and trying again. You hit the jackpot right away though. You were always the luckiest of the bunch. Now, 3 years later, after you're both in college, Harry calls you up saying he is planning a special dinner for your 3-year anniversary. Your heartbeat races. Every anniversary Harry planned something amazing, and then the night would end up in bed. Harry picks you up from your last class, and as much as you ask and whine, he isn't saying a word about this date. You go to your apartment first, so you both can change. Harry instructs you to wear some nice, as he will be wearing a suit. You wear a tight red dress that shows off your curves. You knew that Harry could never handle himself in that dress. Just picturing Harry in the dress, like wearing the dress. You come out of your bedroom ready to go. But when your eyes find Harry, you freeze. He looked hot, wearing a gray suit and a simple black bow tie. His hair is slicked back, and you can't help but admire how his curls looked perfect. The silence falls upon you two as you both check each other out. You let out an embarrassed cough, and Harry grins before taking your hand. He places a kiss on it, like a gentleman, before saying, "You look stunning, Y/N." You feel your cheeks heat up, and you try not to check Harry out too many times. You don't look too bad yourself, Harold. He chuckles at your nickname you gave him long ago. He takes your hand and leads you to his car. You can't help but remember his motorcycle and all the good times you had on it. About a year ago, though, Harry had ditched his motorcycle and instead bought a much more practical car. The drive to your date is fact, only 10 minutes, but from the looks around, you had never been to this area. Harry parks the car, and before you can open your door, he hops out and dashes to open it for you. "Why, thank you, good sir." You giggle at your comment. And Harry laughs back. "No problem, my darling." His nicknames cause butterflies to flutter their wings in your stomach. Harry puts his hand to your back, guiding you to the restaurant. As you look around, you notice the glass chandeliers and the businessmen around you. This is indeed a very fancy restaurant. You are in such a daze from how 5-star this restaurant is, you almost forget you are walking. But you almost fall. You remember. You wobble for a second from your tall black heels, but luckily, Harry's strong arms catch you. His hands hold onto your waist as your cheeks flush red. You don't want him to let go, but you must sit down. When Harry's hands disappear from your waist, they leave the fire they made behind. "You okay there, babe?" Harry asks. You nod, not trusting your voice to talk. You still feel the rush of your pulse when he calls you that. Harry pulls out your chair and gracefully to sit down. You watch as he runs a hand through his hair before sitting done. He nervously looks around before his eyes settle on you again. You look around for the menus, but can't find them. Harry sends a smirk your way, grinning like a Cheshire cat. "I ordered for us already," he explains. You give him a smile, loving how sweet he is. He always knows what you like. The waiter comes by to fill your wine glasses. "This is the finest wine in our restaurant." I can't do Italian. You hear the thick Italian accent in the waiter's voice. "Thank you," you comment. You take a sip of the wine and instantly agree. This is the finest. Harry and you chat on about little things. You discuss college, and Harry talks about his new singing career. Without warning, in the middle of a short pause from the talking, Harry reaches for your hand. "I love you," he says, almost moving you to tears of how much emotion was in those 3 words. "I love you, Harry." You smile at him, feeling so lucky to have him. Suddenly, you hear music start, and then someone hands Harry a mic. You've never heard Harry sing in person, and as he begins the first verse, you're outstanded by how good he is. I'm not gonna sing this. "Babe, you know I love you, but how could I show you? I was so lost, I was lost without you. And how could I show you? You mean everything to me. I hope I mean everything to you. I know we've only been together for 3 years, but we are better together than ever. Babe, I love you. I wish I could show you. You mean the world to me. You're everything I wish I could be. You're crying now." Oh wait, the song's over. You're crying now. Happy tears, of course. Suddenly, he lowers to one knee. "I know you love me. You're my stars. I know you're happy. You're my all. So would you please marry me?" You gasp as he pulls out a big diamond ring. "Yes, yes," you shout, and instantly tears pour down, staining your face. He slides the ring onto your finger, and he drops the mic, allowing you two to kiss. Squiggle. Author's note. I'm sorry I just ended abruptly, but it was getting pretty boring for me to write. ... So yeah, but I will be posting a new Harry fanfiction called Silent Screams. It's about Harry and a girl being best friends. The girl has a perfect boyfriend, while Harry has a huge crush on that girl. I'm not very good at descriptions. ... Once I get a good one, I'll let you know. Ha ha ha. X, capital D. Epilogue. Epilogue. You and Harry spend the rest of your lives together. It's a perfect fairy tale love, and as it plays out, you only fall deeper in love. You've come to fall in love with his messy dark brown curls, his white t-shirt days, and black sunglasses. You fall in love with the way he laughs and the way he says your name, the dimples when he smiles when you've said something funny and slightly inappropriate. You fell in love with his cheeky grin and his dorky personality. You love all his quirky things, all of his flaws. You fell in love with a mystery boy, a boy with a leather black jacket and a motorcycle. And each day, you fall more in love with him. You fall in a deep love with Harry Styles. Not long after you guys have gotten married, you get pregnant. You have a boy, and later, you have a girl. Harry's singing career increased popularity, but he never lost himself in the fame. Every night when he came back from a concert and gigs, he would show up to your house holding roses and a present for the kids. Harry would give them their presents and they would rush off to play with it. Then when you least expect it, he would lift you off your feet and kiss you like he hadn't seen you in a million years. And to both of you, it felt like it had been a million years. With Harry's increasing popularity came hate from thousands of girls who wanted him for themselves. Whenever the hate got hard on you, he would crawl on your bed and lock Harry out. He would stay outside the door until you felt better. Once you'd unlocked the door, he would hug you and ensure you that you were the love of his life. He would kiss you and whisper, "I love you," into your ear. He would call you gorgeous and spit curse words at the stupid fans. Ah, schnocks. He would tell you that those weren't his real fans. Now as you look back at your fairy tale story, you feel butterflies in your stomach still. It's been 45 years since the day you first met Harry. You feel so lucky to have had your first day go like that. Star, 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 and the end. Once again, sorry for ending it so abruptly, ... Anyways, so starting a week from now, I'll be posting chapters of my new Harry Styles fanfic, Silent Screams, but if you want to check out and start reading it now, it's on my Harry Styles fanfic Instagram page, at fanfiction.love13. Also, I have plenty of other works on my page here on Wattpad, so check me out if you want, :D. Enjoy reading other 1D fanfics, like Laced and After. They have ruined my life, TBH. Anyways, ... I hope you have an awesome life, and I hope someday you meet Harry Styles. Bye for now. I feel like my author's note just ended my video. Whew, that was more PG-13 than I thought it was. I thought it was only PG. Well, there it is. I hope that fanfiction made you laugh, maybe made you cringe a little bit. I feel a little embarrassed. I'm second guessing this whole video idea. But I think it's good to laugh at ourselves. I think fanfiction can be good. I've grown a lot since I wrote that, so I'm happy to know that. So let me know down below if you have read any cringy fanfictions. They don't have to be One Direction, they can be anything. There's more than enough cringy fanfictions out there about YouTubers, about everyone pretty much. You can find anything on the internet. So I'm sure there's a cringy fanfiction for every fandom. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that's all for this video. Stay totally awesome. Till next video.
Zoe the Awesome.